Hey everybody, welcome to our regularly scheduled SIG usability meeting. Today, Gabby and Carl are going to talk more about our user research study, and we'll probably talk a little bit about KubeCon EU too.
Cool. So I guess I'll go ahead and get started. Just a quick update from January. We were able to do two user interviews, which is one of our goals to do two user interviews per month. So Josie was able to lead one, and Carl was also able to lead one. So thank you both of y'all for that. I think right now our next steps are just to kind of like keep on doing, keep our goal of 2 interviews per month. But I think we're also at the point where I'm kind of open to just kind of like talking. I wanted to maybe like just like bring it up with y'all. We have kind of like a spreadsheet where we're tracking interviews and kind of like who's going to be the lead note taker and people that are interested in shadowing. And so I'm just trying to like open it up a little bit more just to see like, what's the best way of making people aware, that there's kind of like shadowing opportunities.
So like shadowing would be like learning how to conduct the user research interview.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I feel like with the Zoom recordings and with the transcriptions, they're super nice. And so, we started out kind of just like thinking like, well, we wanted at least two people per interview, just like one leading and then the other one note taking. But for note taking, it's kind of like, you can note take if it'll help you kind of like, digest and like listen. But I feel like even if you just have never sat through like a jobs to be done interview and just kind of wanted to like shadow and or also just like drop in because you're interested in kind of like helping with analysis later.
Hmm.
And so just listening in on the interview, um, I'm thinking like, we have a spreadsheet for that. And so, some people, um, SJ on the call and just some people in the Slack channel had expressed interest in signing up. And so I'm just thinking like, you know, maybe like sharing out the spreadsheet like on the Slack channel
Yeah.
or something like that. Would that be the best way
Uh,
of making people aware?
yeah, I would say Slack channel and the Google
Mm,
email list, Google group.
cool.
And so but make the ask really concrete.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like, and so be like, hey, I have a spreadsheet if you want to join a user interview, and then to have like the time and like the Zoom link, and just make it really as easy as possible. Cause, it's like any volunteer organization, people flake all over the place. And so if you just make the ask really concrete and like, here's
Yeah.
the link and here's the time, and then sign up right here, I think people would be definitely interested. I think people are going to be really interested when we start rolling up what we're learning, and presenting it about it at KubeCon EU, because people are kind of always really hungry for user stories and user data,
Mm.
especially upstream. I get pinged for it all the time. So
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think that's going to be, I think people will be super down for that. The other thing that I was thinking about was, so Gabby and I worked together to put together a mentorship proposal. So CNCF does a mentorship 2 or 3 times a year where you can basically post a project and then people apply to your project, and then it's a paid internship. So you pick an intern based on the applications. And so we've posted a user research internship opportunity as part of that. So if anyone knows any groups where potential interns hang out, feel free to drop them the link to check it out and apply. But I really like the program that the CNCF does because it's really easy, really straightforward. It's not as complicated as a bunch of the other programs that I won't name drop, but it's a nice little internship program, and it's really nice too because the people who sign up for it then often it may be one of their first experiences with an open source project, and I think what's kind of unique to what we're doing is it's an opportunity for a user researcher or someone who's getting a university degree in user research, usability, to kind of come and participate in a way that they might not have an opportunity to do. So, yeah, I think that person will be not only shadowing but leading hopefully pretty soon.
Mhm. So, and then some background behind kind of like what the mentorship description that we posted or the project description,
Yeah.
since we mentioned that like since we have recordings of these like qualitative interviews that we've done, that we are looking for several people, ourselves included, to kind of just like go back and listen to those recordings and start synthesizing or start annotating the interviews themselves. So we figured that if there's somebody that has like user research background that wants to contribute to open source for the first time, that this might be like a good thing for them to help us out with.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up our mentorship description right now and I can share it. Um, but yeah, keep talking. That was like kind of a tangent.
Okay. About the mentorship
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just realized that like we hadn't chatted with the bigger group about it. Cool. So uh, here's our mentorship, and so this is the platform that the Linux Foundation uses. So yeah, we're just kind of described exactly what we said, and then people can come and apply. And so, Gabby, I think you may have an invite in your inbox to become a mentor.
I just saw it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So when you click accept, you'll be listed as a mentor here too, and then people can apply through this. And so they'll often hit us up on Slack and stuff just to ask for more details and kind of how to get started and everything. But yeah, this will be fun. Like in the past, I've done this with with the multi-tenancy working group a couple of times, and there's a lot of really interested interns, and so it's kind of a cool way to get people started on their Kubernetes journey.
I know that some of the people, our section has been growing, which is kind of cool. But I know that some of the people on there might be in master's programs, and
Yeah.
um, you know, like may have even come to like a meeting or two, like in the past. Like, is that somebody that would be eligible for something like this?
Yeah, I think so. The thing I really like about this program is it's not too prescriptive. So, other programs that I've tried to do with Kubernetes, if the student gets a job, like they can't take the internship, even though it's like the internship's, only 10, 20 hours a week. Or if the intern is in school, they're not allowed to take the internship. Like, there's all these barriers, but the Linux Foundation is pretty flexible. So, it's just kind of we determine if the intern is doing the work that we want them to or not, and then we thumbs up or thumbs down. So it's like really pretty relaxed, which is great because it's a more flexible opportunity for people to really get started.
Where's the link for the mentorship?
I'll drop it in chat and add it to our meeting notes. So the
Awesome.
project itself got added to the Linux Foundation mentorship platform, but there's also a GitHub pull request that we added it to that I don't know if that really matters. Like I think it's just what Uhor uses to copy and paste stuff over and like approve things. But yeah, yep.
When does it open?
It should be opening pretty soon. I think they just extended the deadline because Gabby and I were like running around trying to get this in before the deadline last weekend, and I think they have more budget or something, so they're like re-extended the deadline for more projects until the end of this week, and then they'll probably just announce that it's open on their various channels, and then the Gabby and I will start getting lots of emails like approve your intern. So that's kind of like how I track everything is just the email pestering. It really works. Don't tell them though. I don't need more.
Yeah, maybe I'm just thinking like, back to the master's program question, like, if we all have like alumni email like channels or something like that, like maybe like that would be a good place
Yeah.
to share it.
Yeah, I think that's great. And over time, if we get really great interns and we're like, wow, this person could do like so much more, we can just participate in future internship programs and just pitch different ideas, right? Because this one that we're doing is pretty simple, right? Like, and I think an undergrad or a master's student could do a great job. But if we start realizing that there's like a pool of people who are very talented that, you know, we
Mm.
can pay to do work for us, like maybe we think of something more, you know, strenuous. I don't know.
And you may have mentioned it before, but if this is paid and the person has a current job, is this kind of like kind of in addition to that?
Hmm. Yeah, it's just a separate program. And so that's nice because in the past, you know, we had students in other countries who, you know, are getting their first job opportunity, and you don't want to be like, don't take the job, right? Like they need a paycheck for their family.
Uh-huh.
But they can still participate. So that's why I really appreciate how flexible this program has been in the past.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, so uh, was there anything else people wanted to talk about? We do have our talk proposal for KubeCon EU in. I think that using that, so that's in May. So we have a couple months between now and then hopefully we'll have our intern on board and up to speed too. So I think it would be a pretty good goal for us to have to just go in there and start really talking about some of the data that we've collected over the past months, and then set ourselves up for KubeCon North America 6 months later. So yeah. Other than that, I think we're just kind of chugging along right now.
Yeah, I have to send out emails for the to get our next two people for February. But after that, yeah, I'll email the Google group just to kind of like try and get some people into the process.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll be, just to kind of go back to what you were saying about alumni networks, I do think it'll be really interesting to see if we get people signing up for this, like organically, because normally people really want to work on Kubernetes stuff as part of the internship program, but they're also like, you know, newbie Go programmers who would like a mentor to help them learn how to hack on APIs. And so, you know, I don't know if we'll get people who want to do user research through the regular pool. We might, but it might be good for us to do a little reach out to our networks too. So yeah, cool.
Cool.
Okay, I think that's it for today. I'll stop the recording.